I went to a true strip club for a friend Whitney Rawls' bachelorette party in Las Vegas. I found it to be so unfun, this very serious strip club. The men had such grim, horny looks on their faces.
Ew, that face is disgusting.
I was like ready to clap and laugh, and then all the men were just like, and they were massaging women's boobs like they were looking for breast cancer. But I did see one cool thing. I saw a woman take off her thong to reveal a smaller thong. And then she took off that thong.
A Russian doll thong?
And that was the smallest thong that I had ever seen. A Russian doll thong.
A Russian doll thong.
And that made it worth it.
Hi, Blair Bears. It's Blair. Just coming on here to intro this episode. I am so excited to finally have one of my best friends in the world, Amy Silverberg, on the podcast. We had so much fun. And Amy is just someone who makes me feel so completely known and just impresses me so much by how she lives her life with so many passions and maintaining so many strong relationships and just how much she is able to accomplish while also being so social and writing so much. Her amazing novel debut this year, her book First Time, Long Time, came out and just received excellent reviews. It was such a pleasure to be with her from the very start of the process, cheering her on till her publishing. And I'm just so proud of her. And she's such an amazing, hilarious comedian, PhD, while also being so smart, such a good friend, just excellent person. And I just cherish my friendship with her. So I'm so excited for you guys to hear this. Really quick, my last tour dates of the year, Washington, D.C. this coming weekend, baby. 2 days away. Friday and Saturday, August 21st through the 22nd, 2 shows a night. Arlington Draft House. I really want to see you guys there. I won't be back for another year. Tell your friends if they live in DC. I just love coming to DC so much because the audiences are so smart there. So it's just such a pleasure for a comedian. And then San Francisco, September 4th. That's 1 show only and 1 night only at Cobb's. So make sure you get those tickets. And thank you to the Blair Bears who told me the ticket link wasn't working. But now I really have to push because that is a huge venue and I really need to fill it out. So any help, any people you can tell or bring would just mean the world to me. Cincinnati, I will be at Commonwealth Comedy Club September 11th through 12th. San Diego, September 16th. That's a Wednesday, 1 show, 1 night only at Mic Drop Comedy Club. And then Raleigh, North Carolina, November 5th through 7th. And probably a few more dates to be announced. And all the ticket links are in my bio. I post them mercilessly. And you can see them there, punchup.live/BlairSaki or BlairSaki.com. Anyways, you guys, thanks so much for all your support, for listening to this podcast. I say this every week, but it means the world to me. And I'm just so passionate about this podcast. Like, I'm just having such a good time with it, talking to people I really want to talk to, talking about the weird ass things that matter to me, deep and silly. And yeah, I just love you all and I cherish you all. I hope to see you at the shows. Thank you to everyone who took a second to write a 5-star review. Please continue pushing with those reviews. We really need to get those numbers up. Okay, enjoy this amazing episode that I loved. Okay, I love you guys. Have a great week. Okay, bye. Never mind. I was gonna say more, but I don't need to. Bye.
Oh, what's up, Blair Bears? You wouldn't believe the episode that I have for you today. One of my closest, dearest, most special friends in the world, wildly talented, incredible, hilarious comedian, PhD, bitch. She's a novelist. She's incredible. Please welcome to the show my dear little guy, my little buddy, Amy Silverberg.
So what a wild intro. Yeah, thank you. No, I everything you say makes me laugh. I was smiling maniacally.
Oh my God, that's so cute. I feel the same about you. I cherish your friendship so deeply.
I cherish your friendship, and I feel like I like to talk to you. I want to talk to you once a day on the phone.
Same. I feel the same.
Because I feel like we got to touch base and just see where we're at.
Totally.
You know?
And we have a lot of similarities.
Yeah, and I always say I find you to be a very soothing presence in my life.
You have no idea how much that means to me. I feel that way about you too.
I feel like we soothe each other.
Yeah.
And we love to talk. We love to jabber.
Pete told me that 2 days ago too.
That you have a calming
and
presence.
I was like, oh my God, thank you. Because I haven't really been told that.
Yeah.
And that is such an
and
honor.
I consider you, me, and Laura, my acronym I use for us, GAT. Gifted, ashamed, thoughtful, talented.
I forgot about GAT.
GAT. We're coming from a GAT place, and sometimes Laura will just text me GAT, and it means that feeling probably ashamed, but also gifted, talented.
I really resonate with Laura in that way because I'm still trying to make myself say Laura because it's spelled Laura.
Okay, yeah.
But she told me it's Laura. Anyways, I feel like when I was the exact same age as Peak, I was exactly like her about the guilt. I was just overcome with guilt. And it's and I still have it, but it's lessened.
I love that we're airing out her guilt because I have it
so
too.
much.
Guilty and ashamed. You're telling me Laura wants to be called Laura?
She was named
after all these years of our friendship. You're going to tell me that?
She doesn't care, and it's similar to the way that I don't care about people mispronouncing my last name because phonetically, they say Sochi because that I think is the proper Italian way to say it.
How do you pronounce it?
Saki.
Okay, good. I'm getting
but that's because my grandpa tried to Americanize it because apparently there was Italian racism in the business world. Thought we were a bunch of dummies.
And my real name's Allison.
But
nobody calls me Allison. I haven't been called Allison since I was 4.
You made that your name.
Yeah, I changed. This is my origin story.
You switched with a gire.
I switched names with a little girl, another little girl in preschool, and we shook on it, and I kept that name forever. I'm trustworthy. I try to be trustworthy.
So do I. Very much.
And as you know, one of my guilty things is if I betray a friend, which I've done very few times.
Yeah.
But when I do, I think about it every day for the rest of my life.
Same with me. Betrayal to me is so brutal because I am loyal to a fault.
And I think part of our identities is being a good friend.
Yeah.
And once you
keeping
do
your
something,
word.
yes, and once you do something that seems to call your identity into question or subvert it,
yes. I
I'm
have
laying
one
awake
thing
at night.
to say about your childhood handshake name change. Shook on it. That was the impetus moment where you rocketed to become a professional adult poker player.
Yes, and imagine our tiny hands. My hand's the same size.
Yeah, I have the smallest hands in the world. Oh my God!
I'm 5 feet. What am I going to have big hands?
But my hands, I've never met someone with smaller hands than me. You're the first ever in my life.
I feel this is like Excalibur or whatever, the when you try to pull out the sword.
Sword in the stone?
Yeah,
okay. I'm with you, baby. I love usually my recall not that fast. When I have a moment of quickness, it's elated because, I've been hitting the Benadryl and Tylenol PM.
Oh, I'm right there with you. I have dementia, I think.
We have to go in the same dementia home when
my Unisom.
But we shouldn't speak that into existence. I read something yesterday that too many people speak illnesses into their life. Okay, now, Amy, we have to just take care of a few things off the top. I did go to a focaccia class last night.
Ooh.
As part of something which we will touch on in moments about trying to have more life experiences outside of comedy because you're very good at it, despite your insane amount of sets a week. I don't do as many sets of her a week, but I don't do anything besides comedy, and I do have chronic fatigue, but I love my life.
You are sleepy.
I have medically diagnosed chronic fatigue as a result of Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. Blah, 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 blah. Who the fuck cares? And so whatever, finding the energy, but it's important. So I found this focaccia class, and my dear friend I went to Croatia with famously last year for the grief trip lives in Venice, and I saw it was in Venice. I was like, asked her, she loves bread making, so I got tickets to this. And I've been so excited. I don't have time to create a whole new hobby, maybe besides poker I think I could get into. I really enjoyed. But I was like, I'd like to have new experiences. So we went to the focaccia class. It was at All Antico Vinaio, the Italian sandwich shop, and it started in Florence. They have many locations, but it's on Abbot Kinney, and it's called the All Antico Vinaio Kenna experience. I forget the chef's name. I emailed them, so I told them I'd like to give them on a shout out, but this was last night, and it was all you can drink. So here we go.
Whoa! Look at that.
This is a picture of the focaccia that we made. I really enjoyed it, and I ate a lot there.
You could put 2 little eyeballs on that, and it
Some
has a little
people do.
smile.
And
yeah.
if I was ever to make it again, I would make some
Olive eyes.
some olive eyes, some sort of obvious anthropomorphization of the focaccia.
Because he looks like a cute little blob.
All right, so you guys also saw the focaccia, and if you see this, it was a wonderful experience, so I recommend it if you're in the LA area. I wish I could remember the lovely chef who gave me so much information. I love listening to someone who's passionate about something they love.
Yeah. That's why you like listening to me talk about poker.
Yes, which brings me to this. So as I've been wanting, Amy is like an expert level poker player. She plays in tournaments. How she fits it in while constantly writing novels and doing a million.
I think my poker playing is kind of a coping mechanism lately. I don't know that it's the healthiest. You know, when I'm winning, it feels healthy. When I'm losing, it feels scary.
Of course, like anything. Like me.
But you do go to a casino with me, and I recognize every Filipino man there are like uncles to me. So that is, they're like, Amy, and everyone's like, Jesus.
I just love that. I love that. That's community.
That is community.
That is community, and you can find it in the strangest ways, and it impacts your life in a really, like, how else would you be You would never be interacting with these men otherwise.
No, and I have a lot of good older male friends now.
Everyone's dream. No, one day I was with Jesselnick a couple years ago when I was touring with him, and we flew to this, not Biloxi, this other town, Tunica.
Never heard of it. Never heard of it.
So when I was walking through, and Anthony usually has like those casino places, like sometimes has to have a security guard, and we were walking through, and there was like 2 women in the entire casino, and these men were straight out of like Tiger King vibes. When I walked by, I thought they were gonna eat me. Like the look, you know that look in old Western movies?
Their little tongue comes out. They're like lizards.
Yes, and one woman is like in the town, and the men, they're like covered in soot and like drunk, and they stare at her, and it's the most menacing. Women know that feeling when men look at you like that, where you look like a juicy steak to them. Because they haven't seen a woman in like years walk by.
Especially in a casino, they're like, whoa. I played in a casino in Florida, in a weird little city in Florida.
Amy likes to go to places where she can headline and go to a casino in the same night. It matters a lot in her choices where she goes.
Yes, well, so I played with a very old man at the table, and he said, a lot of people don't like to play with women, but I'm okay with it. And I was like, a lot of people don't like to play with women. Where does that come from? He was very old.
They have such a lack of awareness.
Well, he also said he was like, women used to not be allowed to play. I go, what? Where? What?
Yeah, sorry, you're 150 years old.
Yes.
Also, like, I am smarter than you.
Yeah.
Funny that you say that. Like, I posted this bit about baseball, like, where I'm like, basically, like, it's one of my only sex jokes, okay, Mom, if you're watching this. Like, I'm not a dirty comic. I have like one every couple of years. But I was like, have you ever had so good you listen to a man talk about baseball?
I like that joke.
And you've like never been more bored in your life, And all these men wrote, of course, they wrote, what do you think it's like for men? Like as if the way they see women is so completely uninteresting.
Like I gotta listen to her because I want to have sex with her.
Yeah, like this subhuman being, and I'm just like, are you kidding? What do you think you're offering here? Also, and I know you understand, and every other female comedian and or woman, public-facing woman, the things they write, like if you go on the internet to humble women, you are such a loser, especially because you would never say this shit to a woman's face. So you're always just going online to air out your secret hatred of women,
right?
And you're like anger at feeling their growing equality.
Sometimes they are surprised when you write back like you're a person. Like sometimes I'll write back and I'll just say, what did this mean? And they'll be like, I'm a big fan. And you're like, what?
I try not to ever write back because I've learned and been told by like everyone above me, the classes above me, that they want you to acknowledge them and attention. So I try so hard not to respond, but every once in a while.
I really am curious. I'm like, I don't even know what this means.
Every once in a while, I will just write, go away, you loser. Like, God, you're such a loser. Like, what are you doing? You're too afraid to put out yourself out there.
And something about a woman speaking into a microphone, like the nerve on her
is so triggering. Just like a woman playing poker in the casino.
Sure. Yes. They'll still get mad if you beat them. Even if you've played every street, that's what we call every card.
Or if you lose, they think you're like a loser.
Yes, but then when you win, even if you've played every street the same way they would have, like in a perfect way, they still either think you got lucky or they think like they're baffled at the end. They're like, wow, you called that bet?
Literally insane. How did you start poker, by the way?
Well, my mentor, the first person I played.
You call everyone your mentor.
No, just you? Are my comedy mentor, and then Christine Madrano is my poker mentor.
But you have more.
Gay,
you have writing mentors as well.
Roxane Gay and Amy Bender. So the first person I played poker with was Roxane Gay. And she asked me to come to, I said I wanted to play poker. She asked me to come to a casino. Shout out to Roxane Gay, new friend of the pod.
We love it. Roxane Gay. I would absolutely die to have you on this pod. I like every single one of your threads. I follow everything you do. And
wonderful books, everybody.
I also think it's really cool that I feel like I'm just like a degree through Amy to you.
She blurbed my novel, which was on the cover of my novel, which was huge for me.
Force you
so she asked me to come, or I expressed that I liked poker, and I pretended like I knew how to play because I wanted to impress Roxanne, and I didn't want to not go with her. So I remembered whatever boyfriend I had at the time. I made him sit down.
There we go.
I made him sit down with me and teach me how to play. And then when I went with Roxanne, I was so bad. We were sitting at like opposite sides of the table at Hollywood Park Casino, and I was like going in with like King 2, terrible cards. And Roxanne was like, "What are you doing?" And I wanted to say like, "I just wanted to play with you." And then that started me where I got really into it. And
because you took that experience and you said, "Oh, I will learn,
this
baby."
Is fun. Yeah. And I also loved a casino. My dad took me when I was like 21 to play craps in Vegas. My dad's a gambler. That's really cool. And I've always liked it.
And I just gambled for the first time last November. My mother, and she was like, "You should try, honey." And I was like, "I've never gambled." She goes, "What do you mean?" And so we did slots.
Oh, they do. Scientists are doing experiments to get you into slots.
I'm not trying to get into any gambling.
No, but I
already am.
There's a reason why it lights up so many things in your brain.
No, it's like cocaine or like dopamine immediate.
The rats.
Yes, the rat. But I did win a like considerable amount. I won $190 or something, and I cashed out.
That's smart. You know, most people lose it. I'm impressed. I'll bet on anything. Someone goes on a date with a guy, they think he won't call again. I'm like, let's take a bet.
Okay, I just saw Rick Rubin is like doing Polymarket commercials. And it's like, honey, you have millions of dollars. And that really perturbed me because I was like, from what I know of him, I was like this artistic philosopher savant of a music producer. And I read his book and I thought it was really smart. I received word yesterday that he's MAGA. That one really hurt.
Oh, that's a bummer.
No, I was like, how could you be so connected to like the divine? Because he talks about like spirituality a lot and all this stuff. And I do understand in my older age that some people are fake or whatever. I don't think he's fake. I'm not.
Or they feel that way, but then their money clouds their judgment and stuff like that.
Yeah, or complicated beings, whatever. Yeah. Anyways, that one really hurt me to find that out.
I feel like I cut you off earlier when you were talking about you and Anthony Jeselnik in a casino in...
Okay, I will just say, and I'm so sorry, and I really apologize to you so much if you live in Tunica, but that place is such a shithole.
That's what you were saying. It was shitty.
It is like... unbelievable. We went to Biloxi after that, and it made it look like it made it look like Dubai.
Now, did you gamble when you were in Tunica?
No. Anthony, as you would guess,
another great reader.
Yes. And I'm very proud of there's fun news about his passionate book club. But no, all he does is read. Like, we eat, and like once in a while he'll be like, you want to go walking, you want to go do this, but no, neither of us gamble.
I'm a little like that too. When someone wants to vacation with me, I go, I don't think you understand. I got to read 8 hours of the day, like submerged in a pool.
That's my dream.
And then I got to gamble.
But that's I love that.
That's why I love to vacation with you.
Right. So this is what I'm trying to tie together in this things that I wanted to bring up, is that when I had my first weekend off in like 6 weeks from the road and from like an acting job, and Amy invited me to the dunk tank party.
Yes.
And I have to also shout out the Passavoy sisters for allowing me to come to their party. It was a majority of gay men. And one thing about me, Amy's the same way. I love a day drinking party that also involves water in some way.
Because then we like to go to sleep at night.
Pool. I love to go to sleep. I'm not a late night girl. I never will be. I love a pool scenario, a drinking beach day. This was a dunk tank. It was very fun.
And I've been bragging all day about how I think I have good hand-eye coordination, that I think I was
I
was so confident. I was like, I'm going to dunk every gay man. I couldn't even get the ball within 5 feet.
I appreciated how much you were willing to commit to the activity, though.
And to the idea of being athletic. Sometimes I get an idea in my head that I'm like, I'm pretty good at darts, ping pong.
But I love that about you. You're a woman who knows her own capability. So anyways, I found out when my Toronto dates got moved by the club. They are rescheduled for February 21st to the 22nd of 2027. So Toronto people, I'm still coming, and thank you for your patience. It was not my decision. Anyways, I had a surprise weekend off, and I had been telling Amy for about 2 years that I want to learn how to play poker with her and Christine. And many other girls have too, because we've been watching them have fun and whatever. And so I find out that this poker thing that I had been invited to, I forgot until you reminded me, because originally I couldn't go. And an hour before, I was so proud of myself. Not a spontaneous gal. Not spontaneous.
But you've become more spontaneous lately. I feel like that was one of your resolutions. Am I wrong? Or just to enjoy life more?
I want to try to, so even if I'm tired, if I have time off, I want to be doing new experiences.
Yeah.
So we have this poker girls' day.
At Danielle Perez's, she organized it.
So fun. She made these beautiful hors d'oeuvres. She made polone. I mean, it was so fun and exquisite, and we really were all learning the whole time.
Yeah, and the way Christine and I were teaching, we were like Abbott and Costello,
it was so cute.
We were like da-na-na-na-na.
No, it was adorable. It was so much fun. So now Amy and I, this weekend, Ron Funches is being honored, and Amy's going to be my +1, and we are going to play celebrity poker. So I will have to touch back with you guys and update how that went, because I'm very excited, even though I have very little knowledge, but I have a pro with me.
I'm so excited.
Yes. So poker focaccia class. I'm going on this random ass spontaneous river rafting trip with Natalie Palamides for 8 days down the Grand Canyon. No cell service.
That's going to be so relaxing too.
I haven't had 1 week without my phone since I got a phone, since I was like 15.
And I'm constantly leaving my phone places. I went to the Philippines. I left it in Taiwan.
I love that about you.
And then I realized how much space it frees up in my brain. Somehow I have new tunnels open up when I don't have my phone.
I just can't wait for my brain to be fully reset from the dopamine and just being out in nature and looking at the stars.
You love to watch a woman on TikTok teach you.
I love to be taught anything.
Yeah.
I love learning. Like, I obviously had 3 Aperol spritzes in me. They were, because I drink water, I drink anything so fast. And I was listening to this chef, and he was so passionate talking about flavor profiles at the focaccia class and all this stuff and all these tricks and whatever. And I was just like, this is such a privilege to listen to someone speak about something they're passionate about.
And I'm a Reddit girl. So I like to go on Reddit and see people passionate. You name something, you can find a group on Reddit that
it sounds
like
so scary to me. But I also have to say, after another 4 years of me saying I want to do skincare videos, the first one was filmed yesterday, baby.
Let's go! And as part of this podcast, or is it just a different?
Just for I just did it at my house. And It's the start of many more, something I've been wanting to do for a long time because obviously skincare is my autistic special interest since I was 8. And so I've done all the research.
Yeah. My autistic special interest.
It's true. Like, why did I
And I'm with you often when people are complimenting your skin because you do have beautiful skin.
That's so nice. Thank you. But yeah, so that it was like
I'm looking at the producer. Like,
17
she's got beautiful skin.
It was like a 17-minute YouTube video. So I will be starting
And
those.
of course, men will be lapping that up, jerking their weens as you
Really?
talk about their skin. I don't know.
Men are so weird and gross.
They're crazy. They're crazy.
Sometimes do you ever get this where like a guy DMs you that they're jerking off to one of your video, your comedy or your pictures?
I'm on OnlyFans. We've discussed this, and I'm not doing anything wild, but I put my boobs up and I put emojis over my nipples depending on the holidays.
Okay, to the pervs out there, I know you're listening. Go subscribe to Amy's
So I
OnlyFans.
put like shrimp emojis for 4th of July. I put American flag emojis.
Well, look, there's a lot of comedians that now have OnlyFans because OnlyFans pays a good chunk of money to do sets and specials for comedians.
A set that nobody watches, and then you're on OnlyFans for
but it's
forever.
in their contract, but they're paying a good amount of money. And it's obviously another paying platform for comedians, and they're trying to also get non-adult content on their platform.
I'm happy. Sometimes men will ask me for book recommendations. That's my favorite.
Yes.
I'm going to start a Substack where I recommend books, so I'm excited
I'm
for
so
that.
excited for that. So all of these things are me trying to have new experiences, especially after my brother died. Death is so clarifying. Like, I came out of the womb like this because I do think it is, I know it's my last life on earth, and I've been coming for thousands of years. And
Maybe that's why I feel that you have such a soothing presence, because you've had so many lives before this.
yeah, no, I feel ancient. I'm very tired. But I have this even renewed sense, like I need to squeeze every last drop of life, fun, interests, social, quality time with loved ones, meeting new people, just having new experiences.
Is
like
there anything on the
soaking up
list
life.
that we haven't
I have an
covered?
endless list.
Tap dancing? Was that one of them?
Done it.
Oh,
I even took an adult class, and I do intend to take more adult dance classes because I really
Okay.
enjoy it.
anything else that is on the agenda that we should discuss?
Well, I want to be super rich. I want to
I'm
have
talking about more like experiences that you can
sorry. The reason I want to be super rich is because I would be doing rich correctly. Like, I just want to travel the world, have experience. You know what I mean? I want to do so many things.
Yeah. I love a nice hotel and I love room service.
I love a nice hotel.
Yeah.
And like thinking of if I do not end up getting married and having kids, which there's still time, it could happen, but it's definitely not a priority that I focus on in any way, shape, or form.
And of course, we both got our eggs on ice.
Yes.
I say into the camera.
Shout out my ex-boyfriend. You're probably listening to this.
You're probably listening to this.
Oh my God. I
A
did.
great reader, your ex-boyfriend. Okay.
Yeah, one of them. The only one. But I got that enchanted spell candle that arrived yesterday on the solar eclipse. And I've been waiting for weeks. So it was so crazy that it arrived on the solar eclipse. And it's a personalized candle. And I took it out and it says the initials of this man we just are talking about on there. And I was like, oh no, he's going to think this was like about him. Because the only thing they ask is your name. They don't ask you any information about yourself. So I was like, that's just so random.
So what do the initials mean on the candle?
I have no clue. It could be a symbol that I don't understand, but it looks like his initials. There's all many other weird like designs and
Yeah.
stuff, but they make it for you and it says Blair on it, whatever.
Yeah.
But I posted a video of it, my first unboxing video. My first unboxing video, which is my dream. And it says, and a man was like, is that so-and-so's initials on there? And I was like, oh God.
A man, like a random fan or a friend of yours?
A friend. Yeah. Anyways, moving on.
I like looking into the camera.
I do too. I always do. And stay tuned for updates on if the road opener enchanted spell candle changes my entire life. Okay. So now we have to get into some questions.
Okay.
Oh, one last thing. Laura, the proper pronunciation. Laura
I can't go with that.
You don't have to. She says you don't have to, but I try to honor what she says. That's just me, though. So you want to be like that? That's you. She invited me sort of last minute to be her date to Rory Scovel's Netflix premiere. And I don't really have interest in going to a lot of specials, but
Sure.
he is top 3 favorite comics
So funny.
of all time for me because for me, what I like personally, which I know it's completely subjective to everyone, is that I like someone who writes jokes, but is also a performer and spontaneous, and you never know what's going to happen. And he's the perfect mix of that. But that was hard for me because she invited me last minute, but I made myself say yes because it was something I wanted to do. But I was exhausted, but I did it and it was fun.
And then I feel like when you force yourself to do something you want to do, I haven't seen a time where you regret it. You're always happy that you did it.
I am, because it's like with people I love, doing things I love. Because as you know, I never say yes.
We were cackling away at that dunk tank party.
We laughed so hard. We had such a good time. I always had the best time with you, though.
Ditto.
Like, we really have the best time every time we're together.
Yeah.
But
I feel like you understand me on a deep level that I don't always need to articulate to you.
100%.
Even though you weren't around for my childhood, I feel that you were around for my childhood.
That means the world to me. Yes, but I will say this has all been the last 2 weeks that I've been trying to tackle this when I've had a moment in time, like from the road, a tiny break, and I am exhausted. I am so tired, but I'm happy.
She's not fighting the allegations of being the sleepiest person, but
no,
you're
literally
still
everyone
managing.
on earth knows that about me. But one thing about me as a friend, I will never say yes to something I don't want to do. So if I say a yes, you know I really mean it.
Yeah.
You can trust my yeses.
Yeah, I picked you up once after you'd been drinking all day so we could go to Jumbo's Clown Room.
Right.
Only to find out you were blacked out the next day.
Okay, I don't black out like ever.
No, I thought, we were throwing dollar bills.
Well, when you come up in an all-male family, they don't tolerate, like, you're not going to be invited to the boys' campfire or something if you're like...
I'm sleepy.
No, not sleepy, like a bad drunk.
Oh, yes.
So, like, even if I ever get... drink a lot, which is very rare the last several years, people around me can't really tell.
I also want to shout out Jumbo's Clown Room, which is so fun if you haven't gone. Yes, the women there are so talented. They are doing magic while they're upside down. They're literally like pick a card.
It is incredible what they do. Like these women are the amazing performers.
I know it's not a strip club, it's a burlesque club, and they're not naked, but I went to a true strip club for a friend, Whitney Rawls' bachelorette party in Las Vegas.
I loved this
Sapphire
story
Club,
so
and
much.
I found it to be so unfun, this very serious strip club. The men had such grim, horny looks on their faces.
Ew, that face is disgusting.
I was like ready to clap and laugh, and then all the men were just like, and they were massaging women's boobs like they were looking for breast cancer. But I did see one cool thing. I saw a woman take off her thong to reveal a smaller thong. And then she took off that thong.
A Russian doll thong?
And that was the smallest thong that I had ever seen. A Russian doll thong.
A Russian doll thong.
And that made it worth it.
And I just love you and your appreciation for beauty. Okay, real fast before we move on to Freak of Fact. I could talk to you literally for 17 hours. Oh, one last thing is check out Rory Scovel's special. It's very, very special. It's out on Netflix, and I can't recommend it more. And I very rarely recommend a special.
I can't wait to watch it. I'm excited for that.
Did you bring your book?
No, you told me to bring my novel. It's actually in my car. I forgot to bring it in. Please buy it. First time, long time, available.
Long time. It's got incredible reviews. Everyone loves it. I'm so proud. I was with her. I felt by her side, but on the text.
And I was under pressure trying to get that done. It's available at all bookstores.
From the entire process, it was so cool.
through Blair's also influence, I had gone to Idlewild to try to write. This was when
that was influence.
No,
I'm
going to tell you what was the influence. I was just trying to get away and write, and I was under such pressure. I felt like that was at the point that I thought it wouldn't get done, and that I would have to give the money back to the publishing company. And I met a guy in a crystal shop with a long gray braid, and he told me that he would do a tapping exercise to unblock me, and I let him take me out into the forest alone and try to unblock me.
EFT tapping.
And I wrote one sentence that whole weekend and then deleted it. But later I felt unblocked. So maybe it just came at a later time.
I do. Of course, I have a very expensive certification in EFT tapping.
Well, that was why I let this guy do it, because I had recognized the word unblocking from Blair.
Okay, well, here's the thing. It was one of my many certifications that I accrued during lockdown because I obviously could not travel being a professional comedian. And EFT tapping EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Technique, and it was originally developed for traumatized PTSD war veterans, and it has the proven effectiveness is like 90% recovery. It's unbelievable, actually. Basically, it's psychological acupressure. You can look it up. I recommend Brad Yates' videos on YouTube if you want to check
In this man's defense, he had a long gray braid, but he tapped. He didn't say anything weird. He didn't do anything weird. He was completely above board.
I love how a man above board is like so rare.
Yes, and he took me into the middle of the forest, and he didn't go honk honk or anything. He was normal.
No honk honk.
No
like
honk
those,
honk.
Like those nasty ass men at Sapphire in Las Vegas.
Yes, exactly. And how I imagine it was to do like stand up in the 80s when men were like, yeah, get on stage, honk honk.
Did you ever have that out? Like, I remember early days, like a few times, like at this mic that was really scary.
I remembered open mics.
When
I don't remember.
Yeah, these guys, and every open mic when you're starting is really scary because you don't know these people.
And I started in LA.
Yes, but this guy shouted out, shut up, show us your tits.
I was at a mic and these guys were whispering, and I go, I was trying to like, and this was very early on, but I was trying to show like, you don't talk while I'm up here. And I was like, what are you guys talking about? And he goes, we're just talking about which one of us is going to fuck first. And I was like, kind of,
this is the way,
shut me down.
This is genuinely, if you want to know why it's so crazy, you have no idea as like a regular woman, you intrinsically know that men are like this. But when you start comedy, you're like, oh, I didn't know men at all.
Yeah, and of course, there's so many good men that we're friends with.
We have many great guy friends. I do say that I like men as friends.
Some of the most sensitive men that I know do stand-up comedy of like deeply thoughtful, but then some. I will say much more at open mics because those guys are often amateurs that aren't ever going to be good.
And they were almost school shooters, and at the last second, they decided to try an open mic, and so they brought that sinister energy.
Yeah,
there.
Nothing worse than a guy who couldn't get high school, then getting a little like power into a microphone.
No, they cause pain to everyone around them for the rest of their lifetimes. Oh, and I also have to say a PSA really quick. If you're watching this on YouTube or the clips, men, stop telling me to take off the sunglasses. Yeah, it's just what I've decided. And then you say, explain it to me why you have the sunglasses on.
I won't explain shit to you.
No,
How about that?
It is what it is, babe. This is my show, and I'm going to do what makes me comfortable, and that's how I feel.
I always try to wear sunglasses when I'm playing poker, but then I'm always like, God, it's dark in here, and I have to take them off.
Or men will write, like, this is a little alienating to people, some parts, groups of people, what they mean, like men or Republicans.
What is it, just because you're saying your opinions?
Yes, and they're like, I don't know why you would cross off half of the population and I'm not even a political comic, but obviously some should I say. And I'm like, honey, no good artist tries to appeal to everyone. You have a specific point of view that draws an audience who's interested in your unique point of view. Anyone who caters to everyone, it does not understand art.
Some people might say the definition of comedy is opinions.
They don't like a bitch with opinions.
Good luck. Good luck.
But this man wrote, this is what it was. It was because I made fun of Charlie Kirk or something.
I don't want to keep complaining about men and stand up, but I tell more dirty jokes than you do. I like to think of myself as I got a doctorate, but I also have a doctorate in cum.
No, we contain multitudes.
Yes. So I like a dirty joke, and then but I tell a lot of different kinds of jokes, but some of them are dirty, and then someone will comment like all women do is
they all
talk
write
about
that.
sex, and it's like, have you listened to a man's?
No, they haven't. They're just accept it from a man because they expect it.
And I think I'm doing it in a pretty smart way,
I agree, and I love that you are so like. When people think you're gonna zig, you zag.
I try to zag and I try to zig.
Yeah, you try to zag and you try to zig and you do it all incredibly and like you just contain so much. Like there's nothing pretentious about you for being an incredibly smart person.
Well, thank you. That's so nice of you. And as you know, my boyfriend's two favorite comedians are Blair Saki and Jared Goldstein. This is a man with great taste.
Wow.
Shout out to Danny.
Thank you, Danny. We value you so much, Danny Passavoy. We love you.
This is a man who I tell I'm going to leave for a woman every month. I say, you're my last man. What a joy.
Can you stop saying that?
Okay.
Like, he knows.
Yeah, no, he's literally like, I know.
Yeah,
if you tell me one more time.
You've told him, so you don't need to keep. Okay, we do have to continue on. We usually start the podcast, but for you and I, we had about a 30-minute catch-up session with the Freako Fact. And I'll start.
Okay.
Okay. And this week's Freako Fact of the Week. In 1923, a geologist published a paper claiming the Pacific Northwest was carved by catastrophic ice age floods. For 50 years, the geology establishment ridiculed him. Anyone who's a first or a pioneer gets ridiculed. In 1979, at age 96, he received geology's highest honor, the Penrose Medal. And he joked that all his enemies were dead, so it didn't even matter really.
Rock solid.
I find that so interesting.
Yeah, I like that.
Thank you. Would you like to regale us with yours?
Okay, I have a fact. This is of my interest.
Wow, I think that fact really wowed you. You don't give a about geology or spiting enemies. This sounds like something Anthony would have said.
I'm still trying to absorb. What was the thing that he invented?
He said that the Pacific Northwest was a result of prior catastrophic ice age floods, and everyone was like, that's ridiculous.
They were like, no, it was God, or no.
Yeah, some dumbass idea.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. And throughout the history of America, or the history of the world, I should say, we find out what people used to think, and we're like, God, that was insane. They used to think
we used to think the earth was flat. But like, I just hate, because as you know, I love God. Not a religion God that is like restricts
a higher
anyone.
Power.
Yes, like the divine,
of your own making.
The divine loving intelligence. And I get really frustrated when people think that you can only choose God or science. To me, science is like a result of incredible divinity.
Yeah.
And to me, they couldn't coalesce more. Anyways,
listen, you got me thinking I'm open to the divine.
Yeah. Okay, you.
Okay, there's currently no Guinness World Record holder for the oldest dog because the last Guinness World Record oldest dog holder, Bobby, Portuguese, 31, he was stripped of his title because the Guinness Book of World Records said that his owners misrepresented his age.
They lied?
Apparently, or perhaps just couldn't prove his age. But how do you prove a dog's age? So right now we don't have an oldest dog. What do you think about that fact? There's no oldest dog. But I just feel bad for Bobby getting stripped of his title.
Yeah, because it's not even his fault. He couldn't speak for himself.
He doesn't know. He just knows he's old.
He can't communicate the amount of rings in the trunk.
Oh, exactly.
Okay, so now we will move into our questions. Amy, what is your favorite thing about women?
Oh, friendship.
That's what I always say.
Yeah.
Do you know that every man comes on that I ask him, and like, they shouldn't be faulted for this because it is incredible, but it's just so funny that they say birthing children.
Oh.
And it's like, well, what if if we don't birth children, what are we, as useless as men?
Don't forget my email address is bigjugsrule@gmail.com.
I was going to bring that up, and then I thought I must not dox my friend's email address to the public.
Every podcast I say it, and sometimes women send me their boobs. No, you know what I actually think?
Big Jugs with a Z,
I
just so you know.
Women are my female friends are the first people I told secrets to that I felt like I could say something I was ashamed of, and they would sit there and like strip it of its shame. And I think it's the like acceptance I felt from my female friends allowed me ever to fall in love with a man, or because that's where I learned how to be like
intimacy,
vulnerable. Yeah.
No, I've said I credit all of my growth and intimacy and ability to maintain long-term relationships and me learning attachment. Yeah. Like healthy attachment from my
feeling
female
like
friends.
Deeply understood. And I think I have girlfriends that I grew up with, and even though you and I've never had a situation like this, I'm sure we would, where if someone hurt your feelings, you can be like, you hurt my feelings, and the other person says, I'm sorry.
Oh,
and
yeah,
then
we
you
talk
move
about
on.
all this. Like men have, not all men, some men are incredibly excellent, but I don't want to have to say not all men every time I bring up men. A lot of times they don't want to apologize.
But I think you just learn how to get through, and that people can make mistakes, and that people can apologize, and just true intimacy.
Yeah, no, I feel like I can tell my close girlfriends literally anything. I trust them with my life.
I'm someone who I think of myself as like a monogamist, and I'm often in a a serious relationship.
You have never not been in a extremely long-term serious relationship.
But I still am like, when something happens, I often, and I don't think my boyfriend would find this offensive, I will often call one of my best friends first just because I want to hear what she thinks.
Yeah.
And because she knows me so well and has seen me through so many things.
I also, just when I was young, my dream, like growing up in Orange County, there are many wonderful things about it. Specifically just how gorgeous it is.
And we both grew up in Orange County.
Yes, we grew up
But we
like
didn't know
10
each
minutes
other.
away from each other and didn't know each other. And we first met, we found out we both have MFAs in fiction writing. She, of course, went on. But I dreamed of having artistic friends that I was like inspired by.
Yeah.
And I am so, and I know that word is cheesy, but I am so inspired by all the people that I'm friends with and work with. Like, that was my dream, to be amongst like
I don't think that's
artists.
cheesy. I thought I was actually
I
like,
mean, the word inspire.
yeah. I was like terribly depressed in college at UC Santa Barbara. I was in like a really hot blonde sorority and felt incredibly lonely. And I felt like my life started after when I got to LA and started doing the things that I was really good at, which was like talking and writing for a living. And then I made friends who, and I'm still friends with girls I went to college with and girls I grew up with. I love.
Me too. I have some best friends from home that looks like you've been friends your whole life.
Yes, exactly. They're like sisters. Shout out to Rachel Hall.
Yeah.
And
shout out the Wallace girls, the Hearst girls.
But I do feel like writers and comedians, they just, it's so nice to be understood also with like the tumultuousness of the life we've chosen.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously there are a lot of difficulties that come with an artist's life. It's like really unpredictable, inconsistent income.
You're constantly making yourself vulnerable over and over and over
to
again.
be judged. You're receiving a ton of ton of feedback from strangers every day that like a lot of people will never experience in their entire lives, and they don't even conceive what that's like, especially if you're like a sensitive person or, you know,
and of course the automatic thing was, if you don't like to be judged, then don't do it. But it's then also something you feel so compelled to do, stuff inside of you that you want to
I thought about this a lot because like I've talked about it many times, like how after my brother died, I like just didn't think I could go on, as it just didn't feel right. And being a comedian and being like in public, when I just felt every single cell inside me like decimated, beyond repair. But of course, you know, life picks you up and gets you to keep going. But when it really clarified for me how happy I am that I get to do what I do, and I chose what I do with all the difficulties and all.
My mom used to always say, most men lead lives of quiet desperation.
Yes.
And that even
Which has informed a lot of your comedy.
even in my most depressing day of like getting a rejection or something, I still am like, I cannot believe that I'm going after all the things I ever wanted. Okay, can I tell you one weird thing which you can cut out of when you texted me that your brother passed, I was at the poker table at Commerce Casino.
Oh.
And then I walked out and I left all my stuff there. And then when I came back, I said to these men, one of my best friend's brother passed away. And they go, are you going to leave the poker table?
You know what's so crazy is so many people have told me
Where they were
they were
at Commerce Casino.
Like what happened, what they were in the middle of, like all this stuff like that I would never know. Like,
And I just remember thinking, this is where I am when my friend is going through the worst moment of her life.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow, we've really gotten into some stuff.
No, that's the way this podcast is.
I love
it goes from wacky, laughing, cracking up to
buy my
deep.
novel because I'm always interested in I think the female comedic voice, which I did my dissertation on in my doctorate, is all about dovetailing tragedy and humor together.
I love it.
Shout out to Lori Moore.
First time, long time, go buy it. And like, Amy has worked so hard for years and years and years of her life. She has taught creative writing at USC, at many like prestigious places. She's been published many times. Like, she has worked so hard and equally hard at comedy. Beloved comedian, but just to know a successful novel. And it's really important that we support people, like, so that she can keep this going, we need people to buy the books. Okay, so make sure you buy
did the
it.
audiobook so you can listen to it.
You can buy the audiobook, listen to the audiobook. I listen to it.
Thank you. This is coming from my comedy mentor. And I know she says I got a lot of mentors. I only have like 4 mentors, okay?
I am not your comedy mentor.
Yes, you are.
We are the exact same
No, we're
level.
not. And you
Yes.
can't, once someone names you as their mentor, you can't push it away. Although I have a few people who tell me that I'm their mentor and I go, don't repeat that.
You have so many people that consider you their mentor.
This is my comedy mentor.
Well, another thing is that, like, I think is so important, and I think, like, women really do so well, is, like, everyone in my life, I want them to know how proud of them I am, how much I see them accomplishing, toiling, laboring through everything. Like, I need to verbally celebrate everyone in my life at all times.
I feel very celebrated by you. It's a lot of female friendship is hyping each other up. And of course, we got to go to the Korean spa because I say we're only true
You won't
best
bring me there.
friends when I see both sets of lips.
You won't. Oh my God, my mom. You are.
Sorry, I long to hang out with your mom. I haven't met
she
your
would
mom,
love
and
you.
I long
She
for
would
it.
love you, but if she listens to this podcast, she's gonna think, "Whoa."
That and meanwhile, my mom's such a pervert that my mom would be cackling, laughing, clapping.
No, and I need to be with your mom too.
Yes.
We should just go to lunch with our moms. We love our moms very much.
Shout out to Nancy Silverberg. We're doing a lot of shout outs today.
All this podcast is shout outs. It's just, I love you, 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 because that's how I feel. So, Amy, is there anything you wish to say to women out there directly? Please look directly into the camera.
Okay, this is something I say to my college students when I teach college, my female students. You will never be lonely if you have a passion. I don't care what it is. For me, it was reading and writing when I was in college.
Me too.
You will never be desperate for yeah, sure, you're going to fall in love and maybe have unrequited love, but you will never, like, feel lost and desperate for someone to give you direction if you, like, love a thing so much.
That is beautiful advice, and I think it's so true. I learned that very young.
Yes, me too.
Because I was carded to all my brother's million sports and basketball games, and I was so bored, and all I did was read because this was pre-phone.
Yeah.
And I thank God for it, because I would be a
Even
dumbass.
if what they love is something I can't even begin to understand, I'm like, you love something, and that matters.
Yeah, no, that's beautiful. And then one other thing. Is there any message that you would like to speak to straight men out there? Again, you can look directly into the camera.
Really, I know every woman says, like, listen. I think even when a man's trying to listen, he sometimes is still thinking of his answer while the woman's talking. Practice not thinking about what you're going to say and just sitting there and actively listening, which I'm trying to do better too, because I have a little ADHD and I love to cut people off and talk right away, but I'm trying to actively listen. And I think when a man does that for a woman, it is amazing.
Yeah, that's true. And I think everyone, like, I'm always trying to work on active listening as well. And I think for everyone, like, in asking questions, like, being curious about someone, I truly think is the foundation of love.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, to feel loved is to be known.
Yes.
And so, like, when someone's not curious about you, and I have some people very close to me who, like, refuse to ask me one question.
Baby boomers aren't known for it.
Not my parents. Not my parents at all. But yeah, like, and it hurts.
Yeah.
You know, like, and conversely, when someone takes the time to be genuinely curious about you, it's like you feel really moved by it.
And what they're really saying is, like, I want to know every part of you.
I want to know you.
Yeah.
I think you're valuable, and I find you,
and
like,
your interests are interesting to me.
yeah,
even
or
if
what matters to you, even if it's unfamiliar to me,
Yeah.
like, matters.
And I think sometimes a guy wants to tell you, like, oh, I know about that too. Just don't. Just listen to her talk about it.
Yeah. Oh, that's really good advice. Okay. What are you enjoying about life lately?
God, I'm enjoying so much, really. I wrote a short story I'm proud of. You read it. I'm enjoying writing short stories again. I'm enjoying being on stage. There was a little time in there where I was sick of stand-up and not having as much fun. And
there's no way to have a long-term relationship without there being months or even years where it's like,
I say myself the thing that I thought you once said to me, and I might have butchered it, but you told me once before you get on stage, I think you said, like, just have fun or let the spirit come through me or something along those lines. I've been telling myself before I get on stage, like, just have fun. And it helps. I started to have fun, not to make money.
Yeah. Well, no one gets into stand-up for money. Literally nobody. It's like...
And as you know, I'm always happier when I write, and sometimes when I write every day, and sometimes I get distracted by making a living, so I'm not writing as much as I should.
The plight of every artist. No,
but when I write every day, I'm happier, and I have been.
Yeah, no, I think that's totally true. What I do say is something, it's not the same thing every time, and now it's changed because I asked my brother. But, like, especially when I used to, coming up, like, and I used to be really nervous before I'd get on stage or under pressure. Like, I always felt way more pressure opening for people than I did with headlining because it's not my show and my fans. But I would ask God, spirit, whatever, like, just speak through me and help me channel, like, as much joy and entertainment for these people that I can be a positive moment in their life that maybe gives them a break from whatever is going on and like gives them a laughter, like, because there's nothing just more healing for than laughter.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think, like, how do I be the most myself? I believe
after many years, like when I was younger, and I think it's normal when you're young, like I would withhold this part of my personality around this person, or I'd be this person around this person, around my family, and then all this.
I feel like you're as long as we've been friends, you're more and more like
now
integrated, self-actualized.
I feel completely integrated after 4 very intense years of trauma therapy.
Yeah,
and like integrating all those parts of myself that I felt were unacceptable.
Yeah.
And unlovable has made me. And
I'm feeling that way about myself too. I think some of it comes from the years we grew up in Orange County and maybe some repression there.
Well, and the time. But what I was about to say
That's what I meant, the time,
What I was about the era. But what I was about to say was, along with that therapy, then finding out I'm autistic and like learning about what unmasking is and what parts of my personality were just me covering up autism. Yeah. And trying to conform. Between all that and then my brother dying, which grief makes you be like, I don't give a fuck about this anymore.
Like, strips you down.
It totally does. So between all that, I'm like, I am violently myself. I feel like so authentic to who I am in any room, in every scenario, which is crazy feeling.
And how are you feeling freer because of that?
Yeah, I'm much happier. Yeah, I really am. Okay, what's your skincare routine like?
Just wash my face every night.
With what?
With a cleanser.
Like a gentle cleanser?
Yeah. And then I put on a serum that's like vitamin C. I got it at the dermatologist, and it's supposed to lighten. I have a little bit of like rose natural red.
It's good for brightening and discoloration.
Yes,
dark spots, antioxidants.
That's really it. And then in the morning, I always wear an SPF.
You don't wear moisturizer?
No. I have pretty moisturized skin.
We need a moisturizer.
Okay.
I'm just adding it in. I'm just telling you.
What kind of moisturizer? Tell me.
We'll talk.
Okay.
I think you do well with, like, if you don't like a lot of stuff on your skin. Like, I like really heavy feeling on my skin. There's a lot of, like, lightweight,
and incredibly... you put that on after the serum?
Yes, before your SPF.
Okay.
But you need a moisturizer. Okay, we'll talk later. Who's your favorite comedian?
Other than you?
Is that true?
Oh, you're one of my favorites.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, genuinely?
Yes.
Whoa, that's so nice.
Why would I have my mentor be not one of my favorite comedians?
Because I just haven't, I don't believe I'm your mentor is what I'm saying.
I also love Deborah DiGiovanni is incredible. Wanda Sykes, I think, was from when growing up. Like, the epitome of what you were saying, of combination of great joke writer and just everything and that came out of her mouth funny.
Her new special I really liked, and I find that amazing because a lot of times, I personally believe that stand-up 50% is already taken away when it doesn't translate to TV because it is such a live medium.
Yeah.
And then 2, as you get older, especially if you make it in this business and become super rich, like a lot of times you get out of touch. You just get older. You're not like in touch with the younger zeitgeist, and it just sounds crazy. Like you're talking about like these kids, they don't know
Yeah.
But Wanda talks about her personal life and her family.
Yeah.
And I have learned, maybe because I love family so much,
Yeah.
that family comedy is the most universal subject that makes me laugh. Because it's personal.
I also think my style, or what I relate to the most, is when I feel that the person on stage is like saying something true and vulnerable about themselves. And that's what I'm working on, like more vulnerability on stage while still being funny.
I think you're incredibly vulnerable on stage. You
Trying.
reveal you tiny Mr. Come Man.
Yes, Mr. Come Man,
Okay,
yes.
what's a weird ritual you have? I know you have many.
Oh God. I mean, this is a nice ritual. Every morning I try to, before I ever look at my phone, I try to read whatever book I'm reading.
that.
And
That's
I try
so
to do it in the
beautiful.
sun if possible.
Yeah, see, that's such a pleasurable, like, great grounding start to the
Yes.
day. Like, how that puts you in a good mood.
Yes, and reading it does everything for me. It makes, it soothes me, it stabilizes me, it reminds me how important books are to me, it reminds me my writing is important to me.
Yeah.
And I just think other things I do waste time, like watch TV or be on my phone, whereas reading feels like it creates time.
That was a bar. Whoa.
Well, and I tell my students at the end of the semester when I'm teaching college, I go, if you spent your life reading and you were on your deathbed, you would be like, it's a life well spent.
That just hit me in the chest. That was beautiful.
That's why they pay me the big bucks as an adjunct. Just kidding. They
Absolutely.
pay me like nothing.
What makes you feel funniest?
I love being with a group of my girlfriends, like after a few
Yes,
drinks,
that's the best.
you know, and making everybody laugh, and people who really understand me make me feel funny. I think on stage when I feel like I am most myself and not self-conscious.
Yeah, that's the best. And when you're in like a flow and it
Yes.
feels like you're flying.
And like everything you say that comes out of your mouth is like flammable. It's so funny. And there's nothing worse than everything that comes out of your mouth is like self-conscious.
Oh, and it happens, baby.
And it's the same as writing. When I'm writing freely, I'm just like, this is good. Or I
Yes.
don't even think this is good because I'm writing. But when I'm nervous, then I'm like tightly wound. My fingers are like this.
Yes. I know what you're saying, baby. Do you believe in aliens?
I'm open to them.
Do they ever cross your mind? What's your current thoughts on the current state of like disclosure possibilities? What do you think? What did you think about them growing up? Because I never thought about them at all until 2021.
No, I didn't think about them. I mean, I have a joke about this, but I thought a lot about it because one of my students wrote a short story where he does sex addiction, and then the protagonist, and then I asked him to revise it so that it wasn't about him, and then he rewrote it. In the very last scene, he added a flying saucer, and the aliens abducted him, and then the aliens had big boobs. So
Hysterical.
that's what I think about. And then he goes, now you know it's not about me because aliens don't exist. Of course, I knew even more that it was about him and what he liked.
Aliens don't exist?
That's what he said. But I was like, I think that's wrong. Anyway, so I think about that. I have a lot of, the older I get, the more I'm like, there's so much stuff I don't know. So I'm like I loved Mars Attacks. I don't know if that's maybe kind of.
I need to see that again.
I feel like you won't like that representation of aliens because it's like the classic big green head. And I feel like you're into a more nuanced alien.
I just sort of I see like science and stuff like that versus just trying to stick our head in the sand of like, and being like a religiously restricted society.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like, okay, look, I never thought about aliens until 2021. I still don't know what I think at all. But I'm like, okay, I do think they're real. I don't know what that looks like, what it's gonna look like, what's gonna happen. But I find it interesting.
All of human history seems that the minute we think we know things, we're proven wrong. So I'm willing to be open.
Absolutely. And do I have any? What's your favorite book?
Made Me Want to Be a Writer, Middlemarch by George Eliot. Favorite of recent years, Willful Creatures by Amy Bender, collection of short stories.
That's a really good answer. When I was younger, such an asshole, I used to say East of Eden.
Well, people love that book. Steinbeck.
It's boring. But I love like an epic saga.
favorite of this year, maybe Beautyland by Marie-Helene Bertino. Can't recommend
Which
that
I've read
enough.
half of because you told me.
That's about aliens.
Okay, so we have to end because we are so busy.
Of course, I could talk to Blair forever.
No, I could talk to you for literally a lifetime.
I've been cradling the microphone because it seems to not want to sit still.
Okay, so now we have Galactic Gossip, which is where we end the podcast with this segment. RJ also came up with that.
Galactic Gossip.
And it was similar to what we were just talking about of like thinking that we know things and we don't.
Yeah.
Humans perceive light at 430 to 790 and sound at 20 to 20 kHz. So it's just a tiny slice of the full spectrum, meaning much of what actually exists outside of those frequencies, which is like an unimaginable number and amount, is entirely invisible to us as humans. So basically our entire reality is built from like such an extremely small slice of what actually is and is visible in the universe.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now that's some tea, some intergalactic tea.
That's why like I just like to be open and I like to be interested in all possibilities.
Listen, I'd say, well, that's one of my favorite things about you is your openness. I find that moving to me.
I find everything about you moving to me. Also, you're so much fun for being such an accomplished person.
We hold hands.
Yeah.
I'm working on my posture. You can't
I
tell
am
it
too.
from
It's
this
like an
podcast.
endless
I
pursuit.
look like Gollum. I'm 5 feet. I can't afford to have such bad posture.
You are the smallest person I've ever seen in my life.
That's not true.
Yeah. No, it is true, actually. Okay, Amy, where can everyone find you? What do you want to promote?
Please buy my novel, First Time, Long Time, at all bookstores. Was at the airport. Might still be.
I've seen it at the airport, taken pictures. I've sent many copies to many people.
And I can't thank you enough. I'm on Instagram at Amy Silverberg. I'm on TikTok at Amy Silverberg Rules. I'll be in Wisconsin soon at a comedy club there.
Follow her. She's so funny. Like, she's such a funny comedian, an amazing writer, just incredible friend. And thank you for coming on. Also, guys, I'm so sorry. I'm going to have to say this on every podcast to the end of time. We need those 5-star reviews, baby. You have
Give us a 5-star review.
You have no idea how much it helps. It's so important. Just take 1 second if you enjoy this, okay? I love you so much. Thanks for listening. Bye, Blair Bears.